Hey YouTube!
What is up?
Orion Fan17 here. Once upon a time, not so long ago. A few days ago I came out with a series, and now I decided to do a series based off of that. It actually does not have anything to do with ceiling fans. It has to do with basically my other obsession, music and songs. So I sort of debated a little bit whether I wanted to do this on a separate channel, because it's like, this channel is about ceiling fans, and people want to see ceiling fans. But, then I was like, some fan collectors are interested in music, and also, this might eventually gain audience from outside the fan community, even though this is a fan channel. So it's like, I don't really think that it's that big of a deal, so I decided to do it on this channel. I even once heard a fan collector say that, their other interest, basic passion, was music, just like me too. It was like about a month ago or something, or a couple months ago.
Boy, what is time, really?
So, anyways, let's just get right into that here. Actually, what am I doing? What the heck am I doing? I need to explain what we're doing first. So basically, if you haven't actually, if some of you actually haven't watched the Rate That Ceiling Fan video, or aren't actually fan enthusiasts, then I should explain what this is about. So basically, Rate That Song title,
Pretty obvious.
basically sums up what the video is about. Yeah. And we're gonna be, but if I have to explain it anyway, I'm basically gonna rate songs. So I basically am gonna take a song and basically rate it on a scale from 1 to 10. So actually, let me cut this part of the video here, because you
Can't see the list, and that's not very helpful.
isn't. So let's just get right into showing you guys a listen, and we'll get started here. So here we go. Alright guys, so you can see here's the list. You can probably tell that it is slightly different from the Rate That Fan list. And in case if you guys are wondering, like, why is this only a scale of 1 to 10 instead of 1 to 100? Like, ceiling fans. Like, there's probably even maybe arguably more different songs out there than there are even of ceiling fans. And the reason for that is because, I don't know, with music, to me, it's sometimes hard for me to compare songs. I'm one of those guys that really listens to anything, and I like many songs, so it would be hard to compare them to that detail. Unlike ceiling fans, I'm a little more particular about, but songs, it's hard. In fact, you're probably going to find that this list 10, 9, 8 are probably going to be the fullest, because there aren't really many songs out there that I don't at least really like. And as you can see, it's pretty obvious to tell from the list that, like, each category, like, basically I put the category of, like, what each number means, like, from the scale of 1 to 10, like, 1 here, songs I hate, which is probably gonna be a very empty list. There's probably only a few, and then if you go all the way up to here, there's my all-time favorite songs at the top right here. That's 10. So basically, and then all the other numbers are in between. We'll go down the list slowly here so you guys can get a good look. 5 in the middle are just songs that I think are okay, songs I think are average. This still might be a little bit tricky, but I think that it should work, because sometimes I might be a little mix of, like, oh, is it an 8 or a 9? And it's just like, I don't know, like, do I really like it or do I love it? I might have to think about some, because they're, like, right in between, or songs I love or my all-time favorite songs. But I'll kind of just think, when I rate a song, I'll just kind of think of my reaction. Like, if someone told me, one of my favorite songs is blah 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 by blah blah blah, and there actually is a song called Blah 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 by Kesha, but that's aside the point for now. if they told me, hey, I like that's one of my all-time favorite songs, what would my reaction be? Would it be, oh yeah, that's a good song? Or would it be, oh yeah, I really love that song? Or, are you kidding me? That's one of my all-time favorite songs. Like, I'll just do it depending on what their reaction would probably be. So, anyways, I think for the first, I'm just gonna do some songs. For now, I'm just gonna kind of do, I'm probably gonna later on, I'm gonna start theming the episodes. Like, I might do a 60s episode, or a 70s, 80s, or like classic rock, or current pop, I don't know, or classical, although I don't listen to a lot of classical music, or jazz standards, I don't know, or artists too. Different themes, or songs that have, like, songs and their samples or something. I'll do different themes, but for this first episode, I'm just gonna pick a couple songs off the top of my head that I know I love, and a couple songs off the top of my head that I know I hate. Also, I should just give for context that I am not actually going to play the songs in this video to avoid copyright. I know I wish I could like play a little sample of each of these songs. You guys could bop along to it and stuff, but honestly, after hearing, like, I've heard a few fan collectors actually get copyright strikes for like putting songs in that can like affect their YouTube channel and stuff, and I would rather not take that risk. So I can even either put links to the songs, or there's also a good chance the song might be popular and you can just bop to it in your head. I don't know. But anyways, why don't we get started here? So I was thinking, one of my all-time favorite songs that has been, there's one particular, actually there's many songs that are my all-time favorite, but one that I can particularly think of that I think I'm going to start as my first song to the list on here is from 1982. Dionne Warwick. Song is Heartbreaker. It was written by, I think, Barry Allen Gibb from the Bee Gees. I first heard that song since I was very young, or it was like probably like 7 years ago or something. It was at a clothing store. It was World of Clothing. I'm sure you fan collectors know about that. But for those who aren't in the fan community, that's a clothing store that I used to go to. It's no longer in business. But I was in there, and there was one day they were just playing a lot of really good songs. And I didn't get to know many of them. I remember just thinking I liked a lot of them. But then as I was leaving, I kind of heard this one come on, and I was like, this one's really good, just like all the other ones I heard. And then I kind of basically memorized the lyrics and kind of looked it up when I got back to my grandma's. It was near my grandma's. And then I just became obsessed with this song for so long. It's like, I just really like it. Why do you have to be a heartbreaker? I am not a good singer, so I'm not gonna do that for very long, but that's a little sample of it, just so you guys know. But that is, when I can think of one of my all-time favorite songs, that's it. Now, one of my least favorite songs, honestly, songs that I hate, that's gonna be really tricky, because I can't think of very many songs that I just absolutely can't stand. And in fact, the one that comes to mind whenever someone tells me what's my least favorite song, it's tough to know if it's even, I don't even think it classifies as a song, but because I want to put something in this list, I'm going to put this. Yoko Ono. You probably already know why this is going to be a song I hate, just by that artist, if you know who Yoko Ono is. I don't know. Also known, here, we'll get out of Darman here. I'm just going to show you the video. I don't think it'll get copyrighted, though, because I don't think it's an actual art show. It's, okay, if it'll load here. It's this right here. Yoko Ono screaming at art show. Yoko Ono, I do not think there's actually a song by her that I don't really dislike. But if I can think of that one, it's basically just her screaming like a maniac for about 3 minutes. It is probably the most unpleasant sound I've ever heard in my life. Yoko Ono was John Lennon's wife. That is the only reason we even know who she is. I mean, I've heard people say different things about her personality. Many people have said that she is not a good person in general, but whatever kind of person she is, I'm really sorry to say she does not really have the talent that her husband had. And she really just screams a lot. Basically, ever since she became famous, when she does concerts, she even got to perform with Chuck Berry, and it was John Lennon and Chuck Berry. They were doing Johnny B. Good, and she just sat there with the microphone and screamed. She just screams. That's like what she does. She just screams. It's like really unpleasant. And that video, if we were to somehow classify, I know that's insulting to music to say that's a song, and I actually really don't think it is, but I just had to put something in this list. That was all I could really think of. Alright, so, I don't know, I'd probably have to think a little harder about songs that are kind of in the middle there, but let's do a few more, and we'll kind of keep the list small for this first pilot episode, just to kind of get how it works. But let's think. Another one of my all-time favorite songs that is also childhood for me, and this one's very popular. Here we'll sort by artist, so I'll do a row below. Frankie Valli. Love Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I think there's many of their songs that are favorites of mine. Take my eyes off you. That obviously is a classic that's been like covered and sampled many times, but the original is Childhood. The first Frankie Valli song I ever discovered was at a McAllister's Deli way back, I think it was like in 2014, before I really got into like music and stuff. I didn't really know very many songs at all back then, and I like heard Who Loves You, and the harmonies and that were just so incredible, and it got picked up on video. I was recording the fans there, so I don't know if I asked my dad to look it up, or maybe, no, I didn't know Shazam at the time, so I think my dad was kind of sort of recognized it and was able to research it, and then I just started listening to all their songs, and then eventually I found this iconic one, Can't Take My Eyes Off You, which is maybe one of the most iconic songs in pop music, I think. It's really popular. I'm sure probably many of you know it, and that is definitely another one of my all-time favorite songs. Alright, so I can't think of another song that I can put in one right now, but if we can think of one that maybe I could put in two, I think I'm gonna do Bella Thorne, SFB. How should I say it? Well, yeah, that song's pretty bad. SFB, I don't want to cuss on this channel because kids do watch, but you might be able to figure out what SFB stands for. And it is a pretty childish song. It's basically, I think it was basically a diss for her ex-girlfriend. She was dating someone, and she was basically, I guess she was mad at her or whatever, so she wrote this song as an attempt to diss her, and it's pretty childish, I have to say. The lyrics sound like something that a 10-year-old would write after learning how to cuss. It was pretty bad. And the reason why I put this in, really the only reason why I put this in 2 instead of 1, is because obviously is just screaming. At least this actually had some notes in it. And I mean, for me, if there's some decent notes in it, it's hard to hate it. I love music. So really, at the beginning, really the intro, because at the intro there's some whistling and there's a somewhat decent sounding acoustic guitar. And then when she starts singing, it's basically all goes downhill. And her lyrics, the lyrics of that song are honestly, I listen to it for laughs too, because the lyrics are hilariously bad. But yes, that if I had to put another song that people have asked me that I really didn't like, that's another one I can think of. I think most people hated it too. It got more dislikes than likes. Bella Thorne, in some ways, I kind of feel bad for her. She was on Disney, she was on Shake It Up. She didn't even want to do the show. She did it because her family was homeless, I think, which is honestly kind of sad, to be honest with you. And then she actually has released a few good songs. She released a song in 2014 called Call It Whatever. Um, and that one was actually really good. I think it had some auto tune in it, but it was pretty good. And then as we started getting later on, after she started to grow up, I don't know what really she's been through, so I don't really want to judge. I worry a little bit about some of the stuff she's going through. She seems like she does probably do a lot of drugs and alcohol now. Honestly, this seems like the kind of song someone would write when they are drunk. So, but yes, if I had to pick a song that I think is in O2 or in this kind of region down here, that's another one. All right, we'll do two more songs for this series, and then we'll finish up. All right, what's another song I can think of that? I mean, it's hard to think off right at the top of head that like songs I just think are okay. Um, I probably have to do some like get reminded and stuff of some different songs, but let me think. What's another song I like? All right, why don't we do something a little more recent, at least compared to this list. Insert row below because this artist is. So this song is, I believe, actually almost going to be 10 years. Actually, it might be 10 years old now, this song. So in some ways, it's very nostalgic. It's many people my generation grew up with this song, but it also is kind of newer compared to these other songs. This is from, actually, why don't I put the years here? 1982. 1967, I believe. Those are the years for those two. So the song that I'm going to pick next for this list is Kesha. And the song is Die Young. This song sparked some controversy because, well, I don't really want to get too into it, but oh, that song just really goes hard. I love the sort of the EDM vibes it gives. A lot of people will tell you that like from 2008 to 2013, a lot of people loved music from that era because pop often had a very party EDM vibe to it. And even though I don't hate, a lot of people think that certain periods of pop music were better than others. I don't really compare. Like I think all genres of pop music are unique in their own way, or sorry, not genres, but periods of time, like 80s, early 2010s, 60s. They're all unique in their own way. But that was one thing I love about early 2010s music is that EDM. It's just so I mean, I think when I was younger I wasn't even that big of a fan of EDM sounding music, but now I really like it. And this is one of those songs I can think of that I do really like. And honestly, I mean, that whole album has some. I know Kesha was going through some stuff when that album was released, so I feel bad, but honestly that album has some real bangers on it. It's a good album. I think the album's called Warrior. And yeah, so that's another one I can think of that is one of my all-time favorites. And then we'll do one more, and then that will wrap up the series for tonight. But hopefully we all get around to putting out more. All right, so I'm trying to think, what's another song that people don't like? I'm trying to think songs, especially songs that have more dislikes than likes on YouTube. Like the ones that are probably, I think. Oh, my mind, like when I try to think of stuff like this, my mind just does not work. I'm sure we can all relate to that somewhat. All right, hold up. Let me just spend a second. I just want to jog my memory. Okay, yeah, perfect. It's Every Day, Bro by Jake Paul. We'll do that one. No, not what I meant to do. Google Docs. Okay. So let's see. I'm probably gonna have to. Actually, I don't know. That's somewhere probably gonna be between a 2 and a 1. Oh, maybe that's a 1. Because, I mean, there isn't even really anything good melodic in that song. Hold on, I'm just going to cut for a second and listen to it briefly, just so I can really see exactly how it goes. But it's just to decide if it's a 2 or a 1. Okay, I've listened to it enough I'm gonna do a 2, because actually the beat is decent, but that's about it. That's about all that song has going for it. Again, that one I think is probably one of the most popular, like, hated songs that has more dislikes than likes. I don't know how much people know about, like, this song by Bella Thorne and this one, but a lot of people know about Jake Paul and that song that 2017. I don't know what to call that, to be honest with you. Team 10. It's every. Is it Team 10? Yeah, featuring Team 10. It's Every Day, Bro. Yeah, that was certainly interesting. Yeah. That was not great. So yeah, I think that's going to pretty much wrap up this episode. I think I have anything more. Oh yeah, let me put the years for these. This was in 2010, I believe. She did that. This was like right at the end of 2020, just less than a couple years ago. And this was, as I just mentioned, 2017. That was an interesting year for the internet, especially with that song. So yeah, that's pretty much wraps up the video. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'm hoping to do more of these because this is definitely one of my greatest passions besides fan collecting. So, yeah, just remember to comment, rate, and subscribe, and have a great day.